Alright, so it's very noisy outside. I don't know why the birds decided to... Anyways, they're outside and you probably can hear them in the background. Shit! Moana, Sing, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. These are all amazing movies, amazing stories, amazing and unbelievable movies, right? Hashtag RTDL Real Talk, Devin Legaspi. Oh, did I say Titanic, Harry Potter, Forrest Gump, Transformer, Die Hard, Rush Hour, Friday? There are so many great movies out there. There are unbelievable, amazing movies out there. Have you ever thought about the people behind the scenes or the actors behind those characters? Like Harry Potter's writer, J.K. Rowling, or directors like Spielberg. But as amazing as those stories are, as those movies are, the best story that I've ever heard, that I've ever been involved in, emotionally connected with, it wasn't a movie, it wasn't a book, it wasn't a poem, it wasn't a song, it was a conversation I had with my friends, with my family, with my relatives. It's stories that I had an emotional connection with. It was stories about my parents and how they grew up, and my grandparents and how they grew up, and my friends and how they grew up or how they lived, and the difference in cultures. They're the stories that I love to hear the most. Especially with my grandparents, how they grew up, what they went through when they were growing up. It's very, very different from the way I lived. They were in a whole different country. It was a whole different culture. And from going from that and coming to a whole new place, that's a massive adventure. Going from what they knew, what was so comfortable, what was so easy, and they made that conscious decision to go from where they were to a whole new country and start a whole new life. Not for themselves, but for their kids, so they could have a better life. And then I hear the stories about how my parents and their life in the early years of coming to Australia and what they had to go through, and they had to work like 2 jobs to support me and my sister. It puts everything into perspective. I have 3 cliche quotes. I wanted to use them at the end of the video, but I didn't know which one to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread them out, and it's going to be random. It's going to be absolutely random. So live a life that will be a hell of a story. Everyone has a story. Not everyone wants to share it or tell it or let everyone know about it. But live your life as if it were a story, full of adventure, unforgettable moments. Live a life full of experiences. Think about your friends or the people that you know. It was just a thought in my head that, like, I know a reasonable amount of people. I don't know a heap of people. I know a reasonable amount of people. I only know a select few that I really know about them, about who they are and what they stand for. Others, I only know them at face value. I consider myself someone that is willing to listen to people. I think I'm gonna make it a conscious effort to listen. Less talking and more listening. Our life, your life, my life is like a good story. Like any good story, there are ups and downs, right? There's sad times, good times. Like a good story, you go through these emotional roller coasters to experience what life has to offer. What story or legacy do you want to leave? Your life, my life, is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, but that's okay. Because sometimes you get chocolates that are the cherry chocolates. I hate the cherry chocolates, but you just eat through it. You get through it, experience it, and then you pick them out and you throw them out of the box because you don't want to ever experience that again. Cherry. Why am I saying history? Or why am I saying that stories are important? It's so that you can see how people lived. It's so that I can appreciate what I have now, how I'm living now, knowing how my parents and grandparents and what they had to go through. Listening to these stories helps me to be humble to know that my life is good, my life is not hard. It's also to learn from the mistakes of what people have gone through, and hopefully I don't make the same mistakes. I know there's a saying that history repeats itself. I try to navigate knowing people's experiences and then learning from them. Do not let anyone stop you from creating the best story ever lived. Again, why am I saying that stories are important? It made me think about my story and my life and how I'm living now. Like I said, I listened to my parents and grandparents and how they lived their life and the struggles they went through and the hardships that they went through. And I asked myself that question. I go, what struggles have I been through? Have I gone through any struggles? No. Have I gone through any hardships? No. I don't have an excuse. I don't want an excuse. I want to live the most extraordinary life. I want to live the most extraordinary life. The definition of extraordinary is up to you. Okay? Totally up to you. But make your story count.